was horrific and it was frightening.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm not an anxious person. I'm not like, I don't have like fears and phobias, but I decided I had one Saturday. Oh, okay, I'm muted now.
Hello, we're talking about Nikki's scary experience.
Oh, now that we're live. Oh, it was frightening. It was. I don't have phobias. I've now decided I have another. Well, I have the horse phobia. I don't like horses. They scare me. Beautiful animals.
I love horses.
I love them from afar. I do. I just think that if you ride them, they're killing machines. Hi, Bree.
Hi, Bree. I'm sad that I can't ride anymore, but it sets off a fibromyalgia flare up for like a week after. So I don't ride anymore.
So I love looking at them. They're beauteous, but I know that they could kick me and stop. Like I imagine all the bad things that are going to happen if I go near the horse, and then they make that sound and that's it. I like burst into tears. That's all it takes.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Angela.
But it is quite honestly nothing compared to my fear of snakes, apparently.
Nothing no, it's a snake story.
It's another snake.
Did this one come in the house?
No, but it was ding. I'm sorry, Cass. I think they're beautiful, beautiful animals, but they terrify me. No, this one didn't make it into the house, but it was close enough. So I'd gotten done from the estate sale and I was just cleaning up things, right? I'm looking out the window and I had told John before we left, hey, you know what? When it stops raining finally, because it's raining again outside, can you just go in the garden and give me a hand, make sure there's no snakes so I can pull these weeds, because just like the weeds are as tall as me now, right? So I'm looking out the window after we get back and he's standing in the garden with a shovel and I'm like, son of a bitch, he really doesn't want to wait. And he really doesn't want to wait for me. That's really weird. He's going, oh, how nice too at the same time. Then I realized he's standing still, leaning on the shovel. Is there a problem? Like, is he having an issue? And then I realized that he's looking around. Hey, Maria, that he's looking around. Now I know what the problem is. So I cracked the door open. He whips his head around and looks at me and goes, you need to go back inside right now. And I slammed the door shut and I went, oh my God, it's a snake. Oh my God, it's a snake. Now he's literally 4 feet from the house while he's doing this. Now he still hasn't moved. He's still got the shovel down in the dirt like this. And I can see his brain trying to figure out, what do I do next, right? So he jams the shovel in a little bit more, runs around the side of the house, runs back, and now he's got the hoe. So I went, oh, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. And he's got the hoe and the shovel. So I see him scoop it up. And I kid you not, it was a 4-foot gigantic snake that he pulled out of the garden, and it looked like a copperhead. And now we're freaking out because we're like, oh my God, there's poisonous snakes. There's so many, like, there's animals and little kids and everything else in the neighborhood. And I see him, he pulls the snake to the side, and then I just see him hacking at it with the hoe. He cut its head off. He felt horrible about doing this whole thing too. We're animal lovers, not animal torturers. But we didn't know if it was a poisonous snake. Turns out it was a water snake. After much Google lensing and snake research, like more than I do on Glass, everybody, to figure out what kind of snake this was. It was just a really, really, really big adult 4-foot water snake that will bite you, but they're not like, venomous. They can be a little nasty. But it was horrifying.
Probably best he killed it anyway. You did not want to have to deal with that in your garden all summer.
No. And then, unbeknownst to me, while we were out, my son's trying to go to work. He comes out, snaps a picture. Son of a gun, it's on the deck. He can't leave the house because this huge 4-foot snake, Harry, is on the deck. He hops inside of the deck to go away. And John says, whatever you do not tell your mother that you found a snake, because she won't go outside again. As he's telling me the story of how he heroically killed the snake and captured it, I feel like I want to jump out of my skin. I'm climbing up the steps, thinking about how quickly I can pack everything so I can move.
Burn the house down. We've got snakes. Hi, Sheila.
Oh, goodness gracious. So that was my horrific, terrifying snake. So now you all know how afraid of snakes I really did.
Welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to get started, and we're talking about fancy French glass. And I tried to go back and listen to how Angela pronounced it, and it wouldn't replay. And I'm like, dang it, I don't know how to say this.
I was actually going to try and play it while we were on, so we could have Angela's beautiful, fancy pronunciation. But and you're just going to hear us probably massacre the name.
Yes, we are going to massacre the name for the next half hour, just for you.
We'll call it. I'm gonna after I say the name maybe once or twice. I'm just gonna start calling it P&B because that's how they abbreviated their stuff when they went to sell it. And I'm going to apologize now to everybody if I feel like I'm screaming, but it's thunder and lightning again, just like last week, guys. And my windows are open. So sorry.
Yeah, Instagram was like, nope, you don't get to keep Angela's words. You don't get to keep.
No. So it's a French / Bohemian quotations German company that we're going to be talking about today. It's the best way I can describe it. There are two separate companies that actually merged. Oh, awesome. That actually merged together to create a company. So it is Vallerysthal and Portieux. That's how I'm saying it. So it's P&V. That's the name of them. That's what we're going with now. So Portieux, holy moly, it's pouring out. Portieux was founded in 1705 by Duke Leopold of Lorraine, France. Now, remember that because this is actually very important much later on, the whole Lorraine and Alsace-Lorraine thing. Vallerysthal, the V in P&V, was founded in 1833 by, and Jazzy is not here, so she would get this. My Star Trek geekness is going to come out here for a second. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. I'm getting rained on. Oh, okay. All good. I was getting rained on. Yeah. It was founded by the Baron of Klingling. I want to say Klingon. It's not Klingon. It's not the Baron of Klingon. That isn't the thing. He took over an existing glass plant at, here's another really tough word to pronounce, the Plain de Walsh. So the Plain of Walsh. We'll put it in English. Extensive construction was done, and the fires first lit November 4th, 1838. So I saw lots of different competing numbers. I saw 1836. I saw 1838. But when somebody gave me an actual month and date, I went with that one. The glass plant was almost like a small little village. They had ovens, obviously, sand washing facilities, drying ovens, warehouses, a window glass workshop, a water wheel for cutting glass, and ovens for oxidizing bones, and calcifying lime, as well as 6 pot furnaces. There were living quarters there for the cashier and the directors, an administrative building, a school with lodging for the women teachers, servant lodgings, housing for horses, and a chapel. Hey, Helen. Now, you have to understand that at this point in time, not only was the Industrial Revolution starting to really kick up, but it was also this utopian idea on how to younger working classes could be. So these places were building these big plants with housing on it, and it was supposed to be like its own little community. So by 1841, the V in P&V had 250 people employed. That was a really big employer in the area. They produced mostly clear and colored glass without lead. Crystal glass, I should say, without lead. In 1874, they were decorating with acid etching. In the 1870s, Germany annexed the Alsace-Lorraine, where Vallerysthal, sorry if I'm massacring it, was located, making service to France almost impossible. So in 1872, they partnered with Portieux. So that's how they became P&V Glass of France. Now, in 1891 to 1892, a railroad was built that went right by the plant. So productivity boomed. So it was an awesome time for these guys. By 1931, they were employing 960 people. And this was kind of their heyday, all right? World War II hit them really hard. You can imagine that being occupied by Germany, that area, It hit them really hard. They only had one furnace working, and they almost completely went under during that time period. But they did manage to bounce back. And in 1970, they created this conglomerate kind of thing, like a society with a bunch of other glass houses that were in the area, and it was called the French Crystal Society. In 1977, imports and improvements in the glass industry pretty much put them out of business. The company split back again. Portieux in 1986 got under new management and has been operating ever since. So they're still in operation. The other company, not so much. They're not in operation. They went defunct in 1977. Now, the markings you're going to find on these pieces, you're going to find a round paper label. Don't we love paper labels, everyone? A round paper label. This is P&B France. That's going to date it 1890 to 1970. There's square gold labels with Portieux France in black embossed. SV sometimes appears also. And the oldest mark, let's see if I can get this to show up. The oldest mark is going to be this one right here. It's like a weird leaf with Vallerysthal actually put in the center of it. That's a really old mark from 1836. So probably when they joined in the 1870s. So if you find a piece like that, holy moly, you got a little bit of gold. Now they're known for cameo glass patterns, covered animal dishes, tableware, but especially their opaline glass. Their opaline glass is on another level. Now, opaline glass is a milky glass, and it's made with translucent or opaque, and it's made by adding particular phosphates and oxides and kind of mixing them together. It's chemistry. It's a little over my head, but it's chemistry. Now, P&B's opaline is a unique color. It's an aqua blue or American robin's egg blue, or I saw somebody put in a comment, it reminds me of a Tiffany blue. So if you see, it's almost the color of my water bottle. They're opaline glasses. It's this really, really pretty, different colored blue than any of the other opaline glasses you're going to see. That's another way you can tell that it's P&B glass. They did that by adding copper oxide into the mix. Now I have a few pretty pictures. I'll show you. Claudia's got lots more. Hey guys. So right up here, there's 3 examples, all of P&B glass. Aren't they beautiful? They made them in different colors, not just the blue. They did do lots in whites. You know what? Humidity. Here's one that they did in yellow. Same pattern. It's the grape leaf compote. It's pretty. And it's all translucent glass and really, really pretty. Claudia's got some gorgeous pictures too. So I'm just showing you the ones that I have from my pretty book. This one I found and I wanted to show you all because we talk about it all the time here. See this right here? We look at that and go, that's Westmoreland or that's Indiana glass.
Right. That looks like the Westmoreland Argonaut. And when I saw that, I'm like, no way.
Yeah. The blue one, there we go. The blue one is P&B glass. So they were the first ones to kind of do that because they're much, much older.
They also did dolphin stuff.
Yes, they did lots of the dolphins. Look at the pineapples. That's them as well. I love
the
these
pineapples.
I like the yellow one so much. So they did lots of different styles of blue. Is this their dolphin? Let me see. Oh yeah, here's an image of their dolphin right there. There's some of it. Very ornate glass. As Claudia put it, the fancy rich people glass. So that's what I have on P&B. And I'll let her talk about her fancy glass.
All right, let me bring up some pictures. Ooh. No. Okay. I wanted to show this one because look at the detail on the squirrel. And this is that blue that they were famous for. So just gorgeous, gorgeous piece there. And then I found a picture of an old catalog. Look, there is no way any of these survived because the tails would break off. The little bits of the nest would break off. Like, that's unreal to me. And then these are from the 50s. How fun are those? And then Love, love, love that. That was all the pictures I had. Bring Nikki back.
Sorry. I forgot to put my do not disturbs on. My son called and all of a sudden I couldn't hear anything. So
There, I pretty much everything that I've written down, Nikki covered. They produced a lot of unusual lidded animals and bird bowls. So I just showed you a couple of those. Lots of detail. I read the colors that they made the opaline glass in, and then I forgot to write them down, but they were famous for the blue, but they did it in all colors. So you can find the green uranium glass in the opaline. It's stunningly gorgeous. And there is someone on Instagram that I follow who collects it. And do you think I could remember their name to go and find them? So beautiful. They, the cameo glass that they did floral and scenic themes on the cameo glass. And sometimes enamel or gilding was added to their cameo glass. So there again, lots and lots of detail. And I think that was the only thing that I had beyond what Nikki said. There wasn't a lot that you could find about them. It was pretty much everything you searched had come up the same copy and pasted thing. And like Wikipedia didn't even have a paragraph. It had a couple of sentences.
Yeah.
Hi, Bridget. And yes, happy almost 4th of July. I'm doing my red and blue and green here. Okay, so since I am up first, I guess I will start the sale. Do not forget at 7 p.m. to head over to Brocant and Bergamot if you'd like to keep learning. And I'm actually, let me see if I saved it. Oh, no, stop. Yes. So here is at 7 o'clock, they will go live. And well, let me pin that. Yes. Okay, so I'll pin that to the top, and that is Angela's channel. She and Heather Elizabeth go live at 7 for Brocant Bergamot. They do not have a sale then. They just talk about vintage and antique things and teach us stuff, and they're very awesome. First item. I could not identify the company, and I can't even be sure that this lid originally came with this relish dish. It is, because there were several different companies that made this Georgian honeycomb, but this polished bottom kind of makes me think that it was, we're talking about e-prints? Cool. I don't want to miss that. That it was Viking. Instead of, oh, my brain. You guys, that's just how it's been like that all day. Words are hard. It's just a little bowl, but it's that deep ruby red. And this lid fits it perfectly. It's got the right age, and I don't know, that might be like Bakelite on the handle there. It's a little bowl. It is 4 1/4 inches across, and stands almost 2.5 inches tall. So it's just a little bowl, but super pretty. And this lid is very cool.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And it is $12, number 19. Anchor hawking. See, I don't think it's anchor hawking because of the polished bottom. But there were 4, because I collect the glasses from every company. So I have Viking, I have anchor hawking. I cannot remember what, because Fenton made some of this, and I cannot remember what the 4th. Oh, I can't remember. But there were several companies that did this Georgian honeycomb, but that polished bottom.
It's super polished.
Yeah, makes me think maybe Viking. My second item. Ooh,
It is too pretty for anchor, but anchor hocking made pretty pieces too.
Is this very large crystal candle dish with no chips or cracks. None. I could not identify this, but it is hand carved. Those little bits, that's hand cut. So it could have been bohemian. Even the bottom has some hand cut parts there. It feels nicer than a lot of the German crystal, but I could not identify the company. And I even had somebody comment on my picture on Instagram, and she's like, I have that same one. What company made it? I'm like, girl, I don't know. She's like, I couldn't find anything either. It is 9.5 inches tall with the lid on. Without the lid, it is only 3.5 inches tall. So the lid makes up the majority of it, but it is a stunning, stunning crystal candy dish. And this one is $20, number one.
Right, man?
Number one.
I told her she needs to wear that hat more often and that red is her color because she looks so pretty.
You guys probably can't see, but I got blue earrings on. Got my red, white, and blue. And that's my first two.
Now, see, I hated growing up all that frou-frou-y kind of cut, like overly embellished crystal. But now as I've gotten older, I really have an appreciation for it. And I'm really in love with it.
Yeah.
But good for Angela. Yes, they did. Woo, I can't see. The blue one is them. So yes, they did make it for you. Just for you. Okay.
Thanks for popping in, Leanne.
Thank you, hon. All right, coming up first, I've got King's Crown. They're carnival in the iridescent blues and purples. You see? So now you can have a complete set. You can have Claudia's and you can have mine. I really have always liked this pattern, the King's Crown. So this is Indiana glass. Yours is not though, right? Yours
is one is Indiana glass. These
the other
are Tiffin.
All right, that's what it is. All right. And I talked about this before on one of the Glass of Class episodes. You can tell the difference by the thumbprint. It's actual thumbprint. If it's more circular, it's Indiana. If it's more oval, it's Tiffin or Adam, who's the first one to Adam's Glass to do that. So it's a really pretty color, real pretty little piece. It's in perfect pretty condition. I just love this iridescent shine. I just think it's so cool. It's like gothic and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. So if you're interested in this, it's going to be $15. Number 73. Hey, Roxanne.
How tall is that?
I love this. I love this color.
Nikki, how tall? Okay. Did you hear me? How tall is that?
Oh, how tall is it? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. It's this tall. Wait, here's a ruler. I found it. I found my ruler. Like 5.5 inches. Yeah, it's like 5.5 inches.
I thought it looked just slightly different than mine, but mine's 5.25.
Yeah. Yes. Well, no, maybe it is 5.25. I lied. It's 5.25. You're right. 5.25.
They're the same size. So if you bought the blue one from her and the white and red from me, you'd have really pretty set.
You'd have red, white, and blue kind of, because you count the clear as kind of white. You have your 4th of July thing going on. It's kind of one of the reasons I brought it. That's for sure. Okay. Up next, I've got my 30s. I've got a set of 2 of these. So 1, 2. Now they look like the bases of the Moon and Stars fairy lights. They're not. They're actual candle holders. They are so super pretty. Perfect condition. Nothing wrong with these. And these suckers, they glow. And I got my light on. And you can see these, the whole thing just absolutely lights up. If I turn the light off, you see it more. There you go. You can see it in between the whole piece. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So a set of 2. Now these guys are kind of a little bit wider. Like I said, they're very, very similar in size to the bases of the moon and stars on the fairy lights. So like 4.5 inches by like 3 inches. So if you had a bunch of moon and star fairy lights, you might want these. These, I have only seen a handful of these out there online. And all the ones I've seen are amber in color. These are the only amberina ones. So if you're interested in the duo here of amberina, moon and stars, candlestick holders, think Halloween, guys. I know everyone's doing Christmas in July. Claudia and I are too tomorrow. But Halloween's coming first, everybody. That comes first. It's going to be $35, number 90. $35, number 90 for the set of 2. And those are my 2. Keep my
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my King's Crown. I also have the Indiana Glass King's Crown Compote. Now, we've talked repeatedly about how this is staining here. So it can wear off. So there's just every now and then you see a tiny spot right there. So it does have a bit of wear, but some of them like are completely worn off. And it has this pretty like iridescence around this edge. Let me see if this makes it better or worse. Yeah. But after getting a piece, well, 2 pieces of the Tiffin and 1 of the Indiana Glass to compare them, my daughter picked these up for me when she was on vacation. I prefer the Indiana Glass over the Tiffin, which I didn't think I would. But once I saw them in real life, I do prefer them because
there's a color difference.
These are more oval, the thumbprint versus the circular thumbprint here. And this doesn't have that pretty opalescent edge between the clear and the red that this one does. I don't know, crazy, but I found I preferred this. Now, because this has just a little bit of wear starting on the stained red here, this is only going to be $10 tonight. $10, number 20. $10, number 20. And it is 5 1/4 inches tall. It's the same size as Nikki's.
Yeah, the exact same style, just different colors.
Pretty.
I absolutely am kind of obsessed, especially with that type of King's Crown with the ruby red, because I just think when you have them all lined up, they're beautiful. Yeah.
And the only other times I've seen this is either in antique stores where it's way out of my price range or in thrift stores where there's hardly any of the color left at all. So I've never had the opportunity to buy a piece. And she brought me back 3 pieces. She brought me back 2 Sherberts, and these are the Tiffin glass. And I had seen an article online that said if it had more seams, it was a better glass. So it was going to be Tiffin and not Indiana. But that's not true because this is absolutely Indiana glass, and it's got 3 seams. This is Tiffin. It's got 2 seams. So sometimes things you read on the internet are not right.
That's right. Yeah, because mine has 3 seams too. The carnival glass has 3 seams.
And it's Indiana. Yep.
Yep.
So for these 2 Sherberts, and I do not see any of the stain on either of these having any missing bits at all. Like these are in such good condition. And they stand just under 3 1/4 inches tall. So just your standard sherbet dish. You get both for $10. Number 5, you too can own some Tiffin. And those are my 2. Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys.
One of the things I really like about that, when you can tell the difference, I think the only difference is maybe Indiana's flashing / staining comes off maybe a little bit easier than the Tiffin does, because the Tiffin seems to hold its staining a little bit longer than Indiana glass.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think it does. All right, I've got a knife. Now I showed you all my smaller one. This is the bigger one. This is the 9-inch knife with the starburst pattern. Starburst pattern there on the handle, and it is a cake / pie knife. Now, These knives are from the Depression era, so they're from the 30s. They're going to have nicks and stuff, and I'm going to try and really zoom in, but the blade is a little, let's see if I can do it right there like that. You can see the blade is a little rough, all right? Not unusual. I was going through, sorry, Kaz. I actually thought it was a little weird too. I was like, oh, look, my thing went off to tell me that glass with glass is at 1. No, it's not. It's not now. So big 9-inch knife, glass knife. These are not easy to come by. And if you find them in the color, oh, they're at a different ballpark. But really, really pretty piece of depression. You might know somebody who can maybe fix up this edge. Sometimes you can take them to specialty companies and they can actually fix up the edge. So you could kind of use it again so you don't get glass chips. Because you have to imagine, these were thrown in drawers. These were thrown in cupboards. People just, like we do today with our knives. I mean, we have drawers full of utensils. It's just kind of what happens. So if you're interested, and this is by Durex, D-U-R-X. Durex company made these, and the other one I made, but this one right here. So if you're interested in the 9-inch glass knife with the starburst handle, it's going to be $12, number 85. $12, number 85. I've never, I don't know, I like the handle, but I love the glass knives. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. My favorite piece tonight, this is it right here. It's my little Boyd girl. My little Boyd girl. Slag glass. This is the Colonial Lady, a little Bo Peep. I've seen them listed as many different things. I actually think it's called Old Colonial Lady. And I believe this particular color combination is called Old. Hey, Chad. It's called Old Ivy. I believe I have that right. But it has this just, I don't know, to me, it almost looked like a buttery yellow. And then it's got the purple slag running through her. I was really hoping that she was going to glow because I had a choice between this one and another one. And I was like, I didn't know. I picked her because how often do you find yellow and purple together? They're on opposite ends of the color wheel. She's gorgeous, though. She is just under 5 inches tall. And this part right up here, her little brim on her hat is so thin and so translucent that you can just kind of see through her. Oh, wow. She's beautiful. She is super, super beautiful. So if you're interested in the Boyd girl, because that's what I'm calling her, the Boyd girl, she's going to be $14, number 74. $14, number 74. She is gorgeous. I like my ladies. And those are my two. I forgot how to count. All right.
I have got a set of 4. This gorgeous smoky blue, and these do not have any dishwasher damage at all. Let's see if I can pick all 4 up at the same time.
Talent!
I used to be a waitress. Back when you were taught to carry the plates all the way up your arm.
Yeah.
Serving a big table. So they are the wine glass. They are 6 inches tall. And this is Indiana glass, the Mount Vernon pattern. I've had the Mount Vernon pattern in the candy dishes, but this was the first time I'd found it in any of the glassware. I love the square bottom. We love a square bottom.
Yes.
Square bottom on these.
Yes.
And the lady I bought them from said she had them in storage for years and years. So beautiful condition. 4 of them for $20, number 8. Yes, the smoky blue.
I love that color. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of my new favorite colors.
Number 8.
And I didn't realize it was such a retro color that actually had come back. It's just such a cool color.
And next up, I have Fire King Blue Philby, and I wanted to show them next to each other. Yeah. And the Blue Philby is so light blue that it looks clear until you're holding it up against white, and then you can
actually see it on your hand, the hand side you're holding up. You can kind of see the little bit of the blue tinge in that. I don't know why on the edge, but you can.
There, you can see there. Yeah. I actually collect the Blue Philby, and so I bought this for myself. And bring it home, and I set it upstairs on the table with everything else that day that I had bought and that I was getting ready to clean. And my mom said, "Hey, I think that I have one of those." And I'm like, "No, you she doesn't even like blue." And I go downstairs, I come back up, and there's two sitting on the table. So one was my, I think, great grandmother's that my mom still has that someday will be mine. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one up for sale. So Fire King Blue Philby loaf pan. Now it does have some wear because it was used to make bread, maybe even banana bread, which is the only bread I've ever made in my adult life. $12, number 17 for the Fire King Blue Philby loaf pan. And those
I
are
was
mine
kind
too.
of floored that you were selling that because I was like, I know she collects that stuff. And it is really pretty. It's a very, very pale, I think depression glass kind of blue. Like if you took the pink and the yellow and you put this, it's the same kind of color. And they're awesome. I would have once upon a time used it to make meatloaf. See, I don't like banana bread, so I've made pumpkin bread, and real bread. I cheat. So I buy the frozen loaves and put it in there and make it look like I actually baked bread. That's how that happens. All right. This is my white tribute to the red, white, and blue. Happy birthday, America. And speaking of happy birthday, I love zucchini bread too. Happy birthday to my baby boy. My baby turned 19 today. Happy birthday, Austin. He's not watching.
Happy
He's at
birthday,
work.
Austin.
Poor baby. He's got to work on his birthday. So this is my opalescence rounds and my antique rounds, because antique's in that name for a reason. And Lucy's hair is not included. There we go. Oh, this is Jefferson glass. At least that's what I'm going with. There were about 3 companies that made this. Northwood made this, Jefferson made it, and there's one other that just escapes my brain right now. This is actually called the vintage pattern, and it's because of the grape. So it's supposed to be like a vintage of wine, but I love this bottom. I love the detail work in the compote pedestal-ish base there. Pretty ruffled edge. It has that opalescence on the very end of the little crimping. Super pretty. It's opening, let's see. Opening wise, we've got 7.5 inches from like little ruffly point to ruffly point. It is in perfect condition. It is absolutely lovely. I love this piece so much. So if you're interested, I just wish I had more table space. I don't have table space to like display this stuff the way it deserves to be displayed. But if you're interested in the Jefferson piece, it's going to be $20. Number 93. $20, number 93. It is pretty. I like the opalescent stuff. It's another color that carries. We talk about green carrying through like all the seasons. I think the opalescent stuff does too. Okay, and to match, we have this pretty vase. Now, I cannot identify this baby. It's kind of a little wonky. It's not broken, but it has like this extra little piece here. There's nothing missing. It's just, I guess, the way that it was formed when they were forming it. But it has these really pretty opalescent tones to it. It kind of has Northwood vibes. It kind of has those types of vibes. I cannot say for certain that it is, but it is definitely an older piece. This is the bottom there. But I don't know, something like, it's a pretty color, and then you look at the top and you're just like, oh, it's like a flower, and nothing in nature is absolutely perfect. So that's kind of why I liked this piece. So let's see. This guy stands. I should know this, right? Oh, yes. 14 inches to the tippy top.
Wow, that is tall.
Up to here. It's 14 inches tall. And it's beautiful. I've had this displayed for a long time. Yes, I love that idea. And it kind of reminds me of the ribs like Northwood was doing. They did those ribs, but I love the opalescence of this piece. Gorgeous. So if you're interested in the opalescent vase here or vase, it's going to be $30, number 75. $30, number 75. I'm trying to hold it in the shot. It's kind of hard for the opaline vase. Those are my 2. And they go so nice together too.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Cordy.
All right. My first item on this round is the salt and pepper shaker. I love this, guys. This is so much fun. And the grapes, the glass is so clear. I don't know that it was ever used. So here here are the salt and peppers. Love
I think
that.
that's so cool.
And then it says right here, International Silver Company, silver plated. It's got fancy blue velvet on the bottom, but silver plated on the branch then. I just think it's the coolest thing. Probably somebody got it for their wedding and then thought it was too fancy and didn't use it. Use the fancy things.
Yeah. And you don't have to
Alright.
use it for salt and pepper. You can use it for other things. You can put other things in it to make it look pretty and make a nice display piece.
Yeah, put it on your coffee bar and put cinnamon and nutmeg in it.
Oh, I love that.
And it's like 5 3/4 inches tall. It's just so pretty. And the branches have a lot of detail with the little grape clusters.
Yeah. Or
Super
cocoa.
pretty. Kind of in love with it. $20, number 3. $20 and number 3. And then I've got a choice between toothpicks. So I've got this little one that is stamped Imperial Glass on the bottom.
Ooh.
Oh, really, Bree? Yes, for macchiatos, Angela, absolutely. So it's just an itty bitty, but it's Imperial Glass. And then this one was made by a lot of companies, I don't know, but it's got that fired on color, so it's clear with the fired on blue. And I've sold this one before in colored glass, so I thought it was interesting. This one had the fired on blue, but you get your choice of toothpicks. The Imperial Glass clear is just under 3 inches, and the fired on blue one is just over 2.5. So there's a little bit of height difference between them. Kind of makes me wish I still collected toothpicks. But
I love the blue one. Yeah, I think it's so cool.
$6, number 11 for choice. $6 each. And those are my 2, technically 3.
I should be ready. I wasn't ready. I was just like sometimes I just like to sit and watch the stuff that Claudia brings, because she finds some very unique glass items, and I'm just kind of like sitting in awe. Okay. I've shown this before, but I brought it back because it's kind of red, white, and blue, but we'll forget the little yellow bird is there, right? It's my Bartlett Collins Birds of a Feather jug, and this is painted on the inside, and then this is painted on the outside. And this clear glass, applied handle. It's super, super pretty. It does have seams, so it is molded together. I love the idea of using this as a vase, as opposed to using it as a pitcher. I love the idea of using it as a vase, and putting really pretty flowers in it, and just having this like sit on a side table, if you so can. And I think this is going to come off. I just am not a scrubber, so I didn't want to damage too much. But I think someone has bloopied some paint on there is what I'm kind of thinking. But you could use it as a juicer, but I really think that people were using it to hold flowers. That's kind of what I thought. So if you're interested in the Bartlett Collins, let's see how tall this baby is. It is 7 inches tall. It has the really good ice lip, but we all know I'm an impatient pourer, so I just kind of I'm really ice ends up in my water anyways, even though I hate having ice in my drink. So if you're interested in this guy, really good detail there on the 3 birds. It's going to be $25, number 89. $25, number 89. Okay. And then up next, I was rapidly dry because I had this sitting over here and the window right here is open and it rained on it, so it got an extra half bath. Bringing the Empoli Apothecary jar. I love this. The top is kind of a two-tone. We're gonna separate the pieces. Look at the top. The top is kind of it's still wet. I'm gonna try not to drop it. Darker up at the top, and it fades down into this lovely color. Reminds me of a sorry piece. Sorry, not sorry. Then the base, even on its own, is just really pretty. It would make a really pretty base on its own. I love Empoli for their optics, just that waffly kind of optics. And then once again, it fades down. It gets lighter in the middle and it goes into this darker amber on the bottom. And there we go. It all sits super pretty. Cookies. I have seen these really great pictures where people were putting these really fun like Christmas cookies. So all I was thinking was like fall cookies going in this. Like, oh, how pretty that would be. Candy. Just leave it plain. You do you. So if you're interested in the Apolli Apothecary jar, it's going to be $30, number 91. $30, number 91. And those are bombs too. I'm going to put you back over here because you're still a little wet.
That's such an amazing piece. And for it to still have its lid.
I know. We're always missing the lids.
All right, my next item is another piece that my daughter brought me back from antiquing at Hocking Hills when she was on vacation. It is just a little berry bowl. This is the Capri Swirl. And here again, a totally different shade of blue. There's the Philby. And then here's the Indiana. I just love the different shades of blue. Love, love, love.
Yeah.
When I was a massage therapist, I had different colors of blue just sitting along the shelf in there because to me, blue glass is the most relaxing of glasses.
It is.
Don't know why. That's just what my brain thinks.
Blue's a common color.
So this little Capri Swirl bowl by Hazel Atlas. It was a berry bowl, part of a bigger set. But if you like blue glass, it makes a nice little trinket dish. Or put fancy soaps in it.
Yes.
That's your vibe. Do that. It's only $5. $5, number 15 for the little berry bowl.
You bomb baths or bath bombs. I said that backwards.
Yes.
Bath bombs.
Especially if
fancy
you're blue
people.
in your bathroom. So pretty. All right. And then my last one's going to be choice again, $6 again. And I'll show you why this is only going to be $6. This is the dogwood pattern little basket, but it has, you're never going to be able to see it probably, but like a stress fracture right here, but it's not a crack. It doesn't go all the way through, but like a little stress fracture right here. So it's only going to be $6. But this is that thicker.
Yeah.
Because if it was any bigger, I would not be comfortable shipping it. But I think it's going to be fine. So just $6. I didn't see that until I washed it. Because you know me, I like to pick through the dirty, dirty stuff and then don't realize something's wrong until I get it home and I scrub it. And I'm like, oh. So just a little stress fracture right there. But other than that, like there were no chips or anything to any of the bits on it. So little dogwood basket or all three of these Indiana glass orange blossom teacups.
Ooh.
With really pretty details. And I think these would look so cute with little succulents in them.
Yeah.
So choice, $6 for all three of these. $6 for the dogwood flower basket. Number 4. And that was my last item.
Now, we always stress here, use your pretties. I'm going to have a video coming out next week that might bring into question using your pretties. I'm just going to say, I found out something was much older, much more antique, much more harder to find, unusual, and I got a candle burning in it. And I'm not sure that was actually a great choice. Just saying.
Oh, no.
When I found out what it was, I went, oh. I did. I used it sitting. I still got the candle sitting in it. I'm going, maybe I should use that for something else and put the candle in something that's a little bit not from the turn of the century, the turn of the last century. Maybe I should actually think about doing that. So Angela's putting up some really great content, guys, on Instagram about her using her pretties. So I encourage everybody else to do the same thing. I've really enjoyed all of those, Angela. So like if you guys are using your pretties, take a picture, put it up on Instagram, hashtag it use the pretties, because I love seeing that stuff. Okay. Coming up, and it was Claudia's coffee mugs, their tea mugs, that reminded me of that, because I've done that with some old pieces of blue willow that were coffee mugs that were just really badly stained inside, and I use them to plant my succulents, and they look gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, laugh at me, Helen. Ha ha ha. It's one of those moments where you're like, should I be doing that? Maybe not. Okay, this stuff you don't have to worry about though this next round. If you want to plant something and if you want to use it as a candle holder, you can do that. This would really benefit from a flower frog. This is Indiana glass. This is the Bow Duet. Now I have this piece in milk glass and it's on a pedestal and it's gorgeous. I really like it, but it's harder to find with I've never seen them with the metal base before. So it has the metal leaf base in there, which gives it a little bit of the extra height. I really love the look of this. Great idea for Christmas in July as well, to have this sitting out there. It is their rose bowl. It's just really pretty. I love this piece. It is a little bit on the heftier side, and it's because of the metal underneath. But Indiana glass did some fun stuff with the metal. So if you're interested in this little baby right here, it's going to be $15, number 75. $15, number 75. That is super pretty. And then this is a piece, I showed this a while ago when I said use it as a planter, and I really hope somebody does use one of these. If not, I'm going to end up using it. This is an open sugar bowl. This is how big it is on my face. This is the largest open sugar, like this is a sugar addict. I don't even know who needs a sugar bowl this big, but it is a beautiful piece. This is another Indiana glass piece. This is them going back and doing their like retro that they were doing to actually, then it was retro. Now it's just like, ooh. So this guy right here, just so you know how tall he stands, is 4 inches tall and 4 inches wide. That's a lot of sugar. But the coolest bit is it glows. It's a pretty carnival-esque on the outside with all the different colors, but it has that awesome cadmium in it. I love it. The whole sucker just lights up like crazy. So my Amberina pieces tonight were kind of like, fireworks. Because these also remind me of fireworks, the little medallions on the inside. So this would be really fun to have as a nice planter because it is that deep. So you are talking nice 4 inches on this. Use it as a planter. Use it as if you love sugar this much, use it as a sugar bowl. Why not? If you're interested in this piece, it's going to be $15, number 87. $15, number 87. I love the color too. People poo-poo orange too much. I'm telling you, poo-poo orange too much. Oh, and now the sun's out and the rain has stopped.
That's the way it always goes. So don't forget, in 7.5 minutes, Angela and Heather Elizabeth will be going live with Brokaw and Bergamot. They're talking about eperns. We love eperns. They're beautiful. Beautiful. I have pinned their link at the top of the chat there for their live tonight. So make sure you check that out. And then do not forget that both Nikki and I are taking part in the Christmas in July, 4th of July Shop Hop tomorrow. That starts at 2 with Halen Vintage. And then I will be next. Lots of great sellers in between Nikki and I. And then Nikki will be wrapping up the thing at 6, right? All times
yep, I'm in the booth.
Yep. So fun. And then Wednesday, I have my regular coffee chat and a small sale. And you guys. So I had a fibromyalgia flare up this weekend. And I did not get to go out sourcing. And it was the flea market. And we all know how much I love the flea market. But my niece FaceTimed me as she walks through the flea market shopping for me.
That's awesome.
So she picked me up some great things. And she found one of the hat pin holders, which I've never had an actual hat pin holder.
Ooh.
Don't even know what shape it's in because, she's on FaceTime and don't have a good signal in there. But she picked me up one of these. Then she FaceTimes me from a garage sale. And this lady was selling a whole bunch of hat pins, like real hat pins for real money. And I tell her that it's too expensive. And then I hear her saying, and I'll take that too. And I'm like, Alexis, don't you dare. And she's like, stop it. Just be quiet. And the guy's like, who are you talking to? Your sister? She's like, no, it's my aunt. But I haven't connected with her yet. So I haven't gotten to see any of the pretties that she picked up for me. I'm so
that's
excited.
awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing those. Yeah, and Angela's going to pronounce it for us. I think that's great. I think it's fabulous. Oh, goodness.
And then next week, we're going to be part of another shop hop again. Also on Monday, because I scheduled this 3 months ago. It's just there's nothing wrong, but I scheduled a doctor's appointment. just to have a doctor, because I haven't had a doctor since like 2019. And they couldn't get me in for 3 months. And it's next Monday night at 6:20. So we're still going to be here. It's going to be a live premiere. Nikki will be in the chat. So if you want to purchase, you just put in the chat. She's going to keep track of all of it. She'll answer any questions. But we're going to pre-record it. Nikki's going to slice it together. Slice it together. Slice it together. And I'll put it up on my channel as a live premiere. So she'll be in the chat talking with you guys. So I didn't want to miss out on the appointment. It took me 3 months to get. So.
And we're going to be talking about Sowerby glass. I'm probably massacring that too, but it's a British. We went from France. We're going to go Britain next week. We're going to go yay UK. Slice and dice. That's right, Brigia. Slice and dice. So make sure you tune in for that next Monday. And the 13th, we're doing another drop pop on the 13th. I don't know what day of the week that is. I just know
that one is hosted by Beth Carolina, Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties.
I can never say her name.
Lots of fun stuff going on this month. We love the summer.
Yeah. This week, so tomorrow, I'm going to have lots of really cool holly and berries. For some reason, everything I picked up for the Christmas sale was all holly and berries. It looks really nice if you have the whole collection together. So
I saw your video. It's very pretty.
Yeah. And Thursday, I'm doing something a little different on Whatnot. I'm going to actually mix it up. I'm going to do a little bit of ephemera, and I'm going to also mix in some vintage decor. I'm going to do some like some like mini guys. So a few mini pieces of porcelain and pottery and glass. So a little mix up on Thursday at 7 p.m. I'm over there on Whatnot. I don't know what happened to Tiger. Something happened to Tiger that I don't know about.
Oh. I should be on Tigers next week.
Oh, all right.
Thursday of the month. I should be. I know he took last week off, because he has got to get his stuff organized. I swear, if we lived closer, I would be over there helping him organize his stuff. It's kind of gotten out of control. So last week he took Thursday off to do that. Is he taking a break completely? I missed that, Bree. I know he had announced last week that he needed to organize stuff, so he was not going to be on last week. So I don't know. We will see.
That happens to the best of us. I spent a whole week inventorying all of my. I don't have that much. I have like roughly, I don't know, maybe 200 pieces, not counting my ephemera. And I spent the whole week reorganizing and doing that. So sometimes we just need a break though too. Sometimes it's just one of those, like, it's a vacation. We don't go on vacation, and if we do, we're usually selling from the road, or we're going to some kind of
we're
thing.
Sourcing. Like, it's not a vacation. We're still working. Yeah.
And sometimes it's just one of those things where, you know what, we do need to take a little time out. We do just need to enjoy everything else that's going on around us, whether it be the summer or the holidays or whatever. Sometimes we just need that. God, hand to God. And most of you in here are resellers, and you know that. Sometimes you're just like, I just do too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
that's all right.
Now, with my daughter bringing me back all of that stuff from her vacation, then I'm like overloaded right now with glass. So I've got to redo my inventory to, it's everywhere. It's on the floor. It's because when you're lucky if you get a bunch of stuff at one time, but then it's got to be worked into your inventory. And so
and then you like blow through that, and I don't want to use the term, but you all know the term I'm using. You like blow through that, and you're like, and then you go out and you can't find anything, and then you're in that. It's a vicious cycle. But Helen, you're right. We got to take time to stop and smell the roses. Just not my roses, because snakes live in my garden. Like, we started and we ended with the same damn thing.
Watch out for the snakes.
Watch out for the snakes in the grass.
All right. We will see you guys in the chat. Hope you enjoy our shop hop tomorrow. Have a great 4th of July. Bye, guys.
Bye.